Welcome back to the shop, everybody. My favorite home away from home. So I had this crazy idea. I got to looking around the shop and I was like, why don't I take this and put it in this? Let's do it. So I'll give you guys a few details about the build. We got an 05 Chevy Colorado crew cab 4-wheel drive. I picked this thing up for next to nothing. We called it RoboCop because there was something weird going on with the window regulator and it kind of sounded like a machine gun when you rolled the window up. It's pretty cool. Still coming up with names for it, but the plan is I want to build the ultimate off-road Colorado. The ultimate crawler, adventure rig, overlander. I don't care. I just want to be able to look at something and say, hold my beer. So that's what we're going to do. And then this motor, I moved around, engine, whatever. It is a LM4 aluminum block that I got out of a 2003 Trailblazer EXT. Yes, some of the EXTs had 5.3 liters with a 4L60 automatic in it. And I don't care what anybody says, the 4L60 is a good transmission as long as you build it right. Not saying I'm going to build mine right, but there's potential. So we're going to get that done. I'm going to save you some of the boring crap like pulling the engine out and pulling the other engine out. And there's so many YouTube videos on there to do that. It's not my channel, so we're not doing that. So we're going to get the engine out of the Colorado, and then I forgot to add. This engine, wherever it is, there it is. Okay, we're going to be doing a cam swap on it as well. I've got the Brian Tooley Racing Truck Norris cam, putting a set of 560 springs in it with some heavier push rods, because I've heard that the push rods are pretty famous for bending on the Truck Norris cams. If you get the I think it's NSR cam, the no springs required cam, no springs required, but springs recommended. So we're going to get that built. I'm going to do a separate video on that because I feel like it's worthy enough. A lot of you guys have enough interest in it to where it needs its own video. And then we're going to drop her in there. We're going to make a standalone harness. That'll be its own video as well. And we're also going to I'm doing some funky transmission stuff here with the 4L60. I'll fill you in later on that. That'll be another video. So this will have several segments to it, but the primary portion of it is putting this off-road. So enough talking. Let's get these engines out. So we got both engines out. Shop is a wreck, so means we're doing something right. Now I got to, we're gonna get the Colorado out of the shop so I can get it cleaned up a little bit before we start doing some wiring harness work and all that. And then also we got to get the transmission separated from the 4-cylinder. We're going to be doing an input shaft swap because the smaller, the 4-cylinders that have the 4L60 use a smaller input shaft than the V8s. So we're going to be doing that. I'll have a separate video on that, and then we'll start putting the engine in. So we got the engine bay all washed up. I got Zach over here to help me. Always shows up for the most fun stuff, So the next part now, it is time finally to bolt up the engine back to the transmission. We did the input shaft swap. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, check it out now. We did the input shaft swap from a two-wheel drive transmission over to the 4-wheel drive. Quick video, it's pretty simple. If you're willing to do an LS swap, you can do this swap. I say that without having to fire up the engine yet, so I don't even know if it's going to pull, but it's got a 50-50 shot. So a couple little mods I had to do to the engine. The oil pan itself on it from the Trailblazer was actually a front sump oil pan, and that was going to contact my rack and pinion and the 4-wheel drive components. So Zach doesn't know it yet, but I took his oil pan. Thanks, Zach. And
okay.
So I took his oil pan, so I owe him one. But so we had to do the oil pan swap. I'm gonna take the engine mounts out. I haven't done the cam swap yet because I want to get it put in place so I can build the mounts and everything and make sure everything's gonna fit, and then we can do the cam swap in place. So enough chit chat. Let's get these two mated together and stuff this sucker in.
It better be.
Good. Lower that sucker down. Tell you what, it's a miracle that this transmission didn't blow up when it was in the Trailblazer. One bell housing bolt tight. Well, I guess if this were to take my leg, I could always get a job at IHOP, right? So we've got a little bit of a hang up here where the oil pan is actually hitting the front differential. So I'm gonna try and unbolt the differential and let it drop just a hair. And hopefully that gives us enough clearance where we can bolt it back up and call it good.
Maybe this time we can watch it fall on you.
Maybe. It just might, actually.
You did say you need to rebuild the front end. That would be expediting the process.
Yeah. This is the story of how I die. Wasn't that on a Disney movie? Yeah, it was. It was Rapunzel. Boy, talk about a way to enter a Disney movie. This is how I die, kids. What's that?
I said there is no try, only do.
Yeah. No, you're not. There is no try. That was a terrible impression. Holy cow. I'll never do that again.
I thought it was fantastic. Oh, hey, I think we got enough room now.
By golly, she dropped. Do we have enough, or do I need to take this out on
I
this?
think you're good.
You sure?
I think we've got it.
I'm gonna take this one out for fun.
Find your hat. Oh, there you
Yeah,
got it.
it got peed on a little.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's get that sucker in there.
All right.
Probably. Oh, like a glove. All right, everyone. So, got the engine in there. Got the transmission bolted up, transfer case up, drive line. Ended up having to take the entire front differential out for now, which that's okay because, like I've been hinting at, we're actually doing a solid axle swap on this thing. I've got a Dana 60 we're gonna throw in it. So, we got the differential taken out of it. I got the harness put in there, but when I cut the harness, I ended up making it, I made a standalone harness for it, and then it ends up not working because this one doesn't have a neutral safety switch on it, and a few other things that I really just don't want to fool with. So I'm actually, I think I'm just going to go with the Holley Dominator setup. That way, as I do performance add-ons, I can just rewrite the tune and be done with it. So I'm going to call it a video here. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we're going to be, next video I'm going to have a how-to on the transmission, how I swapped out the input shaft and drum assembly to convert the shaft for a 5.3 liter. And then following that, we're going to start doing the solid axle conversion. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.